This message is for a divine feminine. What you require in relationships is for people to have an ego death, is for them to show up to the altar that you are with love and respect and care from the inside out. You do not play when it comes to yourself, to your heart. This is not fun and games. This is not something to manipulate. And that's where it's really hard when you get into relationships with people is they they want your light. They want your heart. And they want the energy that you show up with. And they admire that. But also I feel that they don't really understand or know what that comes with. And it's not just all love and light, right? You understand the balance of both, how you're connected to your depths, to your ugly, to your messy, to the dark feminine as well. And that you need both to be a healthy individual. And that's where it's hard because you really require people to get rid of their preconceived notions of you and of the feminine in general. And that's where you really weed out who is in truth and integrity and who is still playing from ego or pride or any of those emotions. And that's where maybe someone doesn't realize what they're getting themselves into when they date or they invest in a divine feminine. They don't realize the ego death that is required for them to be in the relationship. And because it literally feels perhaps like they're losing a part of themselves. But they don't understand that that part of themselves is the one that's keeping them small and keeping them stuck in control. And actually, if they were to go through the ego death required, they would actually find the liberation they're looking for. That's the gift you provide, but it doesn't come through sunshine and rainbows. It comes through initiation. You've done the real work, and you also require people around you to do that same work. So if someone is not on that same wavelength and level and truly who is ready to meet you and honor you, then they're gonna be exposed. They're gonna be weeded out. And that's truly a blessing for you. I had the 9 of Cups, the 2 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. So this is saying that I think in relationships as well, this is teaching you how to not lose yourself, how to not put yourself, your own needs below someone else. Because I think what can happen in relationships with you is it's almost like you trust too early, or someone feels really safe with you. So you in turn feel like it's safe to be with them. And there's this openness about you. And when you're, I don't want to say when you're too open, but when you're too trusting too early, then you can start to lose your balance and lose your sense of self and get this person a little pedestalized in your minds. And that's where there starts to be that imbalance more so. So it's really hard. It is hard because I feel like truly the divine feminine that has the depth and the heights and really understands herself is also a true lover girl. And you just want to be loved and give love and just like have there just be openness between two people. But you have to be careful with that because not everyone truly knows themselves and understands that they need to show up with respect with you and honesty and integrity. So sometimes people can put on a mask about that for a while, or they can truly put forward those best selves. But when push comes to shove and rubber hits the road and it's time for a real human to human, uncomfortable and difficult conversation, perhaps they're really not meeting you on the level that you're at. And that's hard. That's a hard truth to sit with. But at the same time, it's such a blessing because people are gonna be exposed. You're not gonna be able to maintain these long, healthy relationships with people that aren't doing that deep inner work within themselves. And that's just the reality of it. I think the best thing to know is like, you got you at the end of the day. And that's why the Queen of Pentacles is here, is to say, even when things get shaky, the Two of Pentacles, even when it gets a little imbalanced, you still come back home to yourself, and there's still such a solidness to who you are. And so when you got you, it really doesn't matter on the outside who comes and goes. And that's the kind of security that you've built for yourself, brick by brick. And you have a lot of strength within you. I do have strength at the top of the deck. Ooh, nice, followed by the Sun, the Knight of Cups. It's like the Eight of Wands. You are not concerned. You are just not concerned about your blessings. Like, there is no question in your mind that you are going to get blessed up again and again in this life. And yes, sometimes we have to have these relationships to clarify what we truly want, what we're truly about, and to highlight where we're still self-abandoning or not being real with ourselves about matched effort, about matched power. And when someone doesn't truly match your effort or your power, they're gonna be exposed. And that's good. That's a good thing, because then it's literally just detoxing or clearing away the things that don't match and align. And that's where I feel you're sitting now, is in that remembrance of everything is divinely guided. That's the Eight of Wands. Everything is perfectly divinely guided. I don't have to worry. That love will find me when it's meant to find me. There's no stress. Also, this is speaking to, you know how to romance yourself and nurture yourself and make a beautiful life for yourself. So there's, what are you lacking in? What are you searching for still? You know, anyone that comes in and gives you romance or friendship or whatever it is just an added bonus on top of an already filled cup, an already filled life. So beautiful things that you are moving towards at this time. And it's not easy work. It's just so not. It's been a lot, exactly, a lot of internal stuff. Jeez. A lot of internal stuff. But one thing I think you're really becoming such a master at is feeling the pain, grieving, not skipping any of the actual work that you need to do emotionally, mentally, to figure out why things ended, to figure out the patterns, to learn, to truly learn from the inside out, and then to start fresh again and again and again. And not that we always want to, but obviously life sometimes forces us into these situations where we have to choose ourselves. We can't go back to the past, and something that we wanted to work out doesn't work out. You know, our plans of the future change now, right? And that's where I feel you're getting really, really, really good with yourself, is starting over, starting fresh. That's actually something you're able to do because you don't deny death. You embrace the death. Not that you want to go through it, not that it doesn't suck ass, but you do it. You do it because you know that's what's required for you to have a true new beginning, and not be like looking over your shoulder to see if the past maybe will come back. It's like a true death and a true rebirth. And that's what I feel like you're really alchemizing at this time, and just something you've become such a, a master at over time. And that all starts with the foundations within you that you've built within yourself. So the work you're doing, it filters what's best for you and what isn't. So keep trusting yourself and keep trusting life, and you will not be led astray.